everyone, it's Megan, or Meowthvader, and today we're going to be talking about shifter romances. So, I have 7/8 shifter romances that I'm going to talk to you about. So the first two are newly discovered. They are by Shelley Lawrenston. So Shelley Lawrenston wrote a series called Pride, which is basically shifters living in New York, and it kind of sets up like the shifter world and how they govern themselves within the human population. And then the second series, which is a trilogy, the spin-off trilogy from this series follows these 3 honey badger shifter sisters. So, I can sell you on the first book for Pride with 3 points. So, 1, super alpha lion shifter. 2, a feisty female cop who is not impressed by the super alpha lion shifter. And then 3, it's so funny. So if you really like funny, lighthearted, smutty shifter books, check out Pride. Along the same line, the Honey Badger Chronicles, the first book, Hot and Badgered. Number 1, Grumpy Bears. Number 2, close sister bonds. Number 3, ridiculous, but still smutty. Like, it is so funny and just so weird. And the Pride series is it's funny, but it makes sense. The Honey Badger series just goes off. Like, they were like, Honey Badger don't care. Honey Badger do what they want. And they just went with it, and it was amazing. I literally laughed out loud while reading these books. So, there's those 2 right there. The next 2 series are by Patricia Briggs, and they flow into the same world timeline, but they are 2 different series. So the first series is the Thompson series. And the first book, we have a female mechanic doing her own thing. We have werewolves. And we have found family, which is super nice. There are 12 books in the series, and I've read them all. They're so good. And then the series that's kind of like parallel timeline to that one is the Alpha and Omega series, which takes place in Mercy Thompson's original pack. So, it is family dynamics, political dynamics in our world, if our world did in fact have werewolves in it, and other supernatural creatures. And just lots of the feel-goods. Like, comparing the 2, Mercy Thompson is very kind of like gruff and independent, and Anna, who's the main character in the other series, is very like peacekeeper, and that series is more political in like the actual workings of the government aspect, while the Mercy Thompson series is shows the effects of it in like the real world. So it's really cool. There's a list from the author of how to read them if you want to read them all together in the series order, and it's really cool. So I recommend both of those series. The next series is the Fireblood Dragon series by Ruby Dixon. So you've probably heard about Ruby Dixon if you've been on BookTube for any amount of time, because she wrote the Ice Planet Barbarian series. So this is her other series about dragon shapeshifters. And it is about as weird as you would think. We have a reluctant but fierce female heroine. We have a dragon shifter who doesn't speak her language. And we have a dystopian society, which are always interesting to read about, right? Some people really like dystopians. So if you like dystopians, you might like this one too. The next one is the Psi-Changeling Series by Nalini Singh. So this series is about a world like our own, but there are different races or types of people. So there's a empathic, psychic, kind of cold heroine, a shape-shifting, fierce, kind of gruff male protagonist, and a lot of world dynamics. I don't know if you can tell, but the reason I read a lot of paranormal is because I really like looking at how the authors incorporate these kind of dynamics into seemingly our world. But there's a lot of books in the Psi-Changeling series, and it's worth checking out. I've read, I think, the first 4, and I really liked them. And they all build on one another, so you should read them in order. I think all of these series I've mentioned so far, you should read them in order. The next book is the Furry United Coalition by Eve Langlis. And the first book is the only book I read, but I seem to keep reading books by this author because she writes weird stuff. So this book, or this series, is about animal shapeshifters in essentially like an FBI sort of thing or situation, going about their lives, trying to find this person. So there is a grumpy bear hero, a happy sunshine bunny character, and some fun, ridiculous surprises. So I'd say give the first book a chance. It's funny. Okay. And then the last series on this list, I read because I was recommended it by In 11 Words, and it is the Shifter series by Rachel Bissett. So I read the first 2.5 books in the series, and I liked it enough, but I just kind of like backed off of it because it was a little frustrating. And I liked it enough, but I kind of backed off of it halfway through the 3rd book because, I don't know, I was just getting frustrated while reading it. But it has a very independent heroine, a drive for change and like female equality, female power, and a few love interests that are very swoon-worthy. So, that's all the Shifter series that I've read and enjoyed. I hope you liked them, or I hope you like them. If you have any other recommendations, let me know, because I really, really, really like shifter romances, as you can probably tell. And with that, I will see y'all next time. Bye.